Hello, and welcome to a series where I discuss the various levels of the Backrooms, and propose the question of, would you survive? Let us begin, shall we? Level 783 is a vast forest shrouded in perpetual night. In the center of the forest lies a small wooden shack. Entities such as Smilers, Insanities, Skin Stealers, hounds, and facelings live in the trees and burrow in the ground. It is yet unknown what about the surrounding forest makes these entities so incredibly hostile and feral. The entities here are not the only danger, however. The forest is sentient and has the ability to speak and will hunt you if provoked. It will leave you alone unless you wake it up by disturbing it in some manner, such as breaking a branch or stepping on a flower. This level always looks like there has been rain recently, but nobody has ever reported seeing any rainfall. If you are unfortunate enough to find yourself in this level, it would behoove you to make your way to the shack as quickly as possible before the entities notice you have arrived. If the entities notice you are there, the hunt has begun, and you must run for your life before being torn apart, or worse. Once inside the shack, you will find many of the provisions that you will need in order to survive for a few months. There is a couch, a table with a chair, a non-working television, and a basic bathroom in the shack. Do not get too comfortable. You are not safe as the forest is constantly watching and biding its time for when it will strike and claim its next victim. Nothing found outside of the shack is edible. Not even the plants will tell you they are. This is all a ruse, as consuming any of the vegetation in the forest will cause you to pass out, and the forest will then claim you. The plants will only speak to you if you have awoken the forest. If you notice light shining through the window of the shack at any time, barricade yourself in the bathroom immediately, and do not open the door. Even if you hear a voice that calls out to you in a familiar tone, you do not know the creature on the other side of the door, and trust me, you don't want to. This is an uncategorized entity that only seems to inhabit this forest. There have been no pictures taken of this entity to date. It is classified as Entity 783-A, or otherwise known as the Wax Man. This entity is made up entirely of what appears to be melted wax in the rough outline of a man who stands 6 feet and 7 inches tall, or approximately 2 meters. It wears a black hat and a black trench coat, carrying sharp instruments of torture around its waist. It can mimic the speech of people you know. It is still unknown how it is able to do this. Eviscerated bodies littered throughout the forest have been reported. These unfortunate souls are suspected as being the Waxman's victims. If you manage to evade the horrors of the forest, you can find an exit located 5 kilometers east of the shack. It is a tree trunk with a large opening that will lead to the backyard of a home in level 9.2. There is also an exit about 8 kilometers north of the shack in a pond. Going underneath the water and swimming west for a few feet will lead to level 7. The final known exit is about 17 kilometers southeast of the shack. It is a freestanding brick wall with a single door in the middle. This will lead to the end. Do you think you can survive this treacherous forest with so many entities eager to devour you, or perhaps add you to some sick and twisted collection of sorts? Do you think you can maintain your resolve as the forest tempts you? Do you think you can run fast enough? Well, I suppose there is only one way to know for certain.